It's your one-stop show for trends, truths, and the tea everyone's sipping. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers around the world. It's time to look at buzzing issues on Social Buzz Extra. Of course, we look at issues making round on social media, and I am Ogochukwu Mobno. Today we'll be looking at some issues that they're making rounds on social media currently. They're currently trending, and yes, we are hopping on them, of course, as they hot, like they say in the Pigeon Palace. All right, the first one is suspected phone snatcher narrowly escapes death after failed operation in traffic. A viral video making the rounds online has captured the scary moment a suspected phone snatcher almost lost his life after a failed theft attempt in slow-moving traffic. The incident reportedly happened in traffic where the suspect riding on a motorcycle stretched into a car through an open window in an attempt to snatch a mobile phone. Unfortunately for him, things didn't go as planned. The car occupant reacted quickly, grabbed him by the hand and refused to let him go as the vehicle continued moving. In the clip, the alleged thief is seen struggling desperately, dangling dangerously close to the road while trying to free himself. Other motorists and passersby soon noticed what was happening as the situation drew attention before it was eventually brought under control. Let's take a look at the video.
Don't you this for me? Man, give her blow for it. Hold on first.
Onto Abbey Expressway, a tower road.
This is how tip my phone. I swear, now God save me. It's a crazy night, man. It's a crazy night, man. I saw them for just calling my phone. It took the time, so around 2, I'll be 3 a.m.
A funny video out there. Of course, you could hear the thief saying, "Please help me, forgive me, oh help me, somebody help me." But when you were trying to do that act, you didn't ask for help and you thought you were swept enough. Of course, so many persons have gone away, with such kind of crimes, and no one could ever trace them. We spoke about this, in the morning, and Priscilla Obasi, of course, shared her own side of her story, and she said that she has been a victim twice, not just once, of phone theft. And I must tell you, a lot of us have almost every document in our phone saved somehow in our phone. So sometimes when people lose their phone, it's more like they lost their life partially, honestly. So why thief someone's phone? You are not handicapped, you are not living with any form of disability, you are strong, you are healthy, and you feel like it's just stealing that is the only option for you to survive or to move out of the harsh economic realities, when some other persons are working so hard to make sure that they make ends meet for themselves. Why can't you do the same? If you don't have maybe the qualification to work in a white collar job, you can actually do other menial jobs. You can also learn skills. Why do we think that we have to commit crimes to make money? You can do other legal jobs. I see people do illegal jobs, and I'm asking myself, why do you think this is the only means to escape poverty? It's not a means to escape poverty. And again, all you need to do is to make sure that you get a skill for yourself. You don't have to go to school to get that skill. You can actually join any of these vocational skill out there, pay maybe stipends, and learn something for yourself. Make sure that you have your hands working. We see different videos of people living with disabilities, making sure they are working. I also shared an example of someone, I think 2 weeks ago. The person is blind, but the person is working. There is no excuse for poverty. You need to look for a way to make sure that you bring yourself out of it. You don't have to steal or do anything illegal. Well, that person was caught, and we just I'm thanking God for his life. He didn't die, of course, as you know the reports came. He didn't die, although sustained injuries, because of course he has to sustain injuries after falling from a moving vehicle, because that vehicle wasn't moving slowly. And for the guys who were able to catch this guy, they're smart enough, because some other persons have suffered this. I must tell you, I also almost had an experience, but not an experience, but this time around I was cautioned. Here in Abuja, I was in a public vehicle, and the driver, I was just with my phone, and he stopped by the traffic. Of course, we're waiting for the traffic light to give us a signal for us to move, but I was with my phone. I was so engrossed with my phone and all of that, and he said, "Please, auntie, put your phone in your bag." About that happened to an auntie of mine, and the phone left. About that happened to an auntie of mine, and the phone left like that. But that was in the night. Growing up, we used to think thieves only work at night, but this time around, even broad daylight, morning, afternoon, evening, they are everywhere. May God help us. So all we need to do is to make sure that we stay vigilant. Well, let's take some comments from social media as regards this topic. And the first comment is coming from Crystal Burial. And Crystal Burial says, "This is too bad. No matter what, no human should attempt stealing your phone and still live. You forgive and free ride to Shomolu." All right, okay. Crystal Berry is not even going to play with this comment at all. Like, free ride, dragging him that long. Maybe you must have lost his life before you get to Shomolu, of course. Well, the second comment is coming from Savage Lona, and Savage says, "You are not in support until these people." Okay, you say you are not in support until these people steal your phone. Then you will know how it feels. Of course, some persons in the comment section were not in support of the video and also dragging the thief. But yes, this person is saying you are not in support until it happens to you. Most times when you are not the victim of a situation, you don't get to feel the pain of the victim until you get to sit or wear that same shoe. That's when you know how hurting, how painful it could be. So the last comment for today for this particular topic is from Olowan, and Olowan says, "If they haven't stolen or snatched your phone before, you guys are the only one that should pity that boy, because they don't have pity in their dictionary, because they don't mind stabbing you to collect your phone." Of course, most of them go with machete. Some of them go with screwdriver, something that could harm you when you go after them. So even most times they even try to tell you, please don't go after them. When something like this is about to happen or happens to you, don't run after them most times, because you really do not know what they are carrying. Some of them have guns with them. Some of them have these devices that could kill somebody. So don't even go after them, so that they don't inflict pain or any kind of hurt on you. So that's just it. All you need to do is to make sure that you're careful, you're vigilant. I see some people pressing their phone, and I think the phone, they just get engrossed in it, and they don't even remember that, oh, I'm outside, I'm not in my house. If you're in your house, yes, it's a different thing. You can lie down, press your phone, and you are free. But when you are outside, even in a gathering with people, you have to be vigilant, because sometimes people snoop into people's privacy. A friend of mine shared a story on TikTok a few weeks ago, and she said she was in a public vehicle. You know how they do it in public vehicle in Abuja, 2 people to sit in front while 4 sit at the back, and she was in front with this other man, and she was just going through her phone, and she said every post she saw that she was watching, the man sitting by her that she knows from nowhere, not from Adam, the person was commenting on every post. Like, she looks at it, and she's trying to watch the post, and the person is telling her, "Oh, if I were the one," and this, and she was like, so from there they can actually snoop into your privacy. They can get vital information. So we have to be very careful when you're in the vehicle. Make sure that your phones are in your bag, except you have to pick an important call, or you have to reply or send an important message. If not, please keep your phone in your bag and be vigilant. That's the only way to run out of this kind of situation. Okay, all right, quickly let's move over to the next topic for the day, and this one is flight operations disrupted at Akanu Ibiam Airport as workers protest. So this is an ongoing report happening live in Enugu State. Flight operations at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, have been disrupted on Friday, February 6th, after aviation workers embarked on an industrial action protesting against the federal government's concessioning of the airport. According to reports, the protest follows a growing dissatisfaction over the handling of the concession process and its implication for workers' welfare. The aggrieved workers alleged that the airport had been concessioned to a Southeast governor and a prominent businessman from Anambra State without any clear guarantees about the fate of existing staff. The airport has been concessioned without taking into consideration the welfare of the workers. All we know is that they said full concessioning will come into effect in 2 years' time, but nothing was said about the future of the workers when the new owners take over. A source told, this we got this from a right source just this morning. It started happening this morning, and I must tell you that so many travelers have been stranded right now in the airport because they cannot find their way out of the airport. They can't live there because they already boarded. They are supposed to have boarded and also taken off to their various destinations, but right now they are all stranded there. So the aviation union have also made repeated attempts to engage the alleged concessionaries and government officials, but those efforts have yielded no concrete commitment. Aviation unions have made several efforts to engage them, including one of the Southeast governors and a popular billionaire investor from Anambra State, but they are not forthcoming on their plans for the workers. The source also added that this morning the workers received a directive from the National Office of the Aviation Unions to shut down flight operations. That's exactly what is happening right now. I would like us to take a look at the video.
More things they happen happening live in Akanegba International Airport, Enugu. Passengers are stranded. The whole place is locked. So the union locked the door because of few things that is going on. So they reached agreements with the airport management.
They have to make provision for me. I'm not before. So me myself, they have to make provision. Because the time is killing the time. Enugu Airport shut down.
Well, that's really a bad sight for business, especially. I keep saying it, we're in 2026. This is 21st century. Why do we keep having back and forth in our aviation sector and also in some other sector in Nigeria? We shouldn't do that. We should have made everything straight at this point. So as a result of the protest, passengers were forced out of the terminal building, as you can see, and left stranded, while all flight operations at the airport were suspended. And this video showed an angry passenger miling around the airport premises, and also some expressing frustration over the sudden shutdown and lack of information from authorities. To be very honest, yes, if something like this is going to happen, please, why not inform people? And why still book people down? These are business people. These are people who have things to do. Just imagine having a meeting in a different state and you are boarding from Enugu State. Just imagine, you must have lost contracts, you must have also lost your credibility, all because the aviation sector refused to do their due diligence. You are supposed to inform these people, oh, we are sorry for you, maybe reschedule or something, but don't just let them come in and at the end of the day they are all stranded. I think something should be done before the end of today. I'm trusting the aviation sector, and also FAN, I'm calling on them right now. Now, something should be done before the end of today, of course. All right, let's move over to the third topic for today. And this one, it affects a lot of us. So many of us can relate to this particular one. And it says, now church is content. Big Brother star Kim Oprah has sparked a debate, concerning churches being content. Like, she's no longer she said she can no longer express herself whenever she's in church. According to her, the big BB Niger star Kim Oprah started conversation online after sharing her thoughts on how church worship has changed over the years. According to her, she says she misses the old good days when intimate, vulnerable moments with God stayed exactly that private moment. She lamented how cameras are now slammed in your faces during worship, with personal encounters quickly turned into content for social media. According to her, many ex-users also agreed with her, sharing how uncomfortable it has become to fully worship without being conscious of cameras hovering around. Some said they just want to dance, cry, or pray freely without suddenly becoming the highlight of a church. It's true. All of us want to do that, all right? So others also pointed out that the pressure on church media teams, saying no matter how careful they are, someone always feels excluded or unfairly treated if they don't appear online. A few users, however, disagreed with Kim Oprah, arguing that church that value privacy still exists and that not all services are recorded. Okay, let's take a look at some of these comments, and yes, we're definitely going to look at this comment, but let me even drop my 2 cents. To be very honest, so this thing happened to me last week in church. I was in the mood of dancing. I really love to dance when I'm in church, and I was actually in that mood only for, like, the first one came, I shoved that one, and the next one had to come close to me just to do that. And me, my human being, I went back into my shells, and I was being careful how I was dancing and all of that, because I don't want to see myself in the big screen in church dancing, and I feel like I'm out of place. So sometimes, yes, it's really not comfortable for some persons, seeing themselves in the big screen and all of that, while sometimes it really takes you away from God's presence. Sometimes, like a shift somehow, you see that you have this disconnection somehow, especially when you're trying to pray and maybe you open your eyes, or you're trying to worship and then you slightly open your eye, maybe just to get the feel of the environment, only for you to see camera in your face. At that point, they're like, what just happened? And you immediately forget that you're in church. You immediately forget what you are doing. At that point, you get a bit of disconnection. I understand how it is. So maybe I'm going to beg the media team in different churches to please take it easy. Take please, if you want to take a picture or video, maybe you can do it from afar, Zoom or something. But when you're on their faces, like you're in their faces like that, they feel a bit, for me, I'm going to speak for myself, so I feel shy and sometimes I feel a bit disconnected. But I don't want to think that churches are doing it for views or anything. I just feel like, okay, we are actually growing. This is a technology age. Of course, everyone wants to be there on social media. Social media translates a lot. It gives a lot of information. So, but I don't want to feel like it's more like a competition out there for different churches or different religious organizations. Okay. All right. So let's take some comments from social media. And this one is from Ambassador for Beans. And Ambassador for Being says, I hate when they do this thing. I'm trying to dance and forget myself. Now you are running towards me with your camera. Everyone is looking now. I'm about to fall down. Of course, she has an experience. She had an experience with that. For her to say she's about to fall down. Yeah, sometimes you're on heels and you're walking. You're trying to be careful and the camera is coming to you. At that point, you're like, guy, calm down. If I want pictures, I'll let you know. All right, the next comment is coming from Amaka. And Amaka says, but that's the reality now. Everything is just content. Are the media personnel somehow ineligible to be touched by the Holy Ghost or as well? Yes, because sometimes they are praying, like serious prayer is going on, and you are there. Maybe you don't want blessings. Can't you close your eyes and pray? Can't you see, when we're growing up, they'll tell you, oh, a serious prayer is going on, or maybe a deliverance session is going on. They'll tell you, everyone, you have to close your eyes and be in the spirit, of course, pray, or else the demon is going to come out from that person's body that they're trying to deliver to your body. So I'm sure that most this is just a joke, but I feel like most of these media personnel already have demons in them. I'm sorry, but it's just a joke though. So please, let's try to be in the spirit too, and that's what this person is trying to say. All right, the third comment is coming from Baba Black Sheep, and Black Sheep says, church media bro here. Okay, this is from a church media brother, and he says, let me just say, you will be doing pictures and videos, making sure you focus only on friends and those who wouldn't mind. Then out of nowhere, you will hear people have been dragging you secretly for preferential treatment cause they don't show on socials. Yes, I understand. Sometimes they only do it for friends, maybe some person that they feel like, okay, they don't really care, and some other dignitaries they see in church. But then I've heard someone say, oh, you are taking that girl's picture, you are videoing her because she's your girlfriend, right? Yes, I've heard that in church. So yes, what do you want them to do at the end of the day? Well, we still drag you, and you are also our friends, but take it easy. And when it's time for prayer, please join the prayers. You are not a demon in church. All right, this is where we close the curtains today for Social Buzz Extra. We wish we had more time because there's a lot of buzzing on social media at the moment, but we do not have much time on our hands. So all you need to do, just make sure that if you missed out, do not worry, it's not a problem. You can actually watch on YouTube, Global TV NG, one word. Make sure that you subscribe to it, and also click on the bell like icon. It's going to notify you whenever we come your way, and also whenever we have other shows from politics, news, and all of that for you. We have them here on Global Television. Till I come your way next time, I'll have to say TGIF and bye for now.
When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone's sipping. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk. Only on Global Television.